So a lot of people aren't aware, but the Mexican nationality, the Mexican passport can be applied after 2 years under the fast track route. Now, in this video, I'm going to discuss the normal way, of course, how you could get this normally. But I wanted to emphasize or focus on the 2 year fast track route. A lot of people are interested in the Mexican passport, the Mexican citizenship, because it's the strongest citizenship in the world. If you combine all the functional access on the Mexican passport, visa free is another story, right? So visa free is just going to get you one entry or two entry or three entries at a time. But after that, there's going to be questions. That's where you need proper functional access. You need purpose and reason. That's what the Mexican passport gives you. It has the ETA to Canada. It has TN access to the US. This becomes a backdoor entry for anyone who has TN qualification. It has, of course, complete coverage, full coverage, maximum coverage to Latin and South America. It has Schengen access, and it also has APEC. APEC is the big one because this is a business access to Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, Japan, Malaysia, Chile, Peru, all the APEC countries, even Russia. So this is all put together, makes it quite powerful, makes it a very strong passport, the strongest passport in the world, in my opinion. Rankings might say what they have to say. They even call Singapore, Japan as the number one passport. I don't think those are number one passports because they don't allow dual citizenship. So a person should have access to at least 2 to 3 passports in the best case scenario. If your passport does not allow dual citizenship, it cannot be the best passport in the world, no matter what the visa free says. In the next video, I'm going to discuss 3 super quick citizenships that are a must for a lot of you watching to consider in 2025. If you haven't seen this video, make sure to go and check that video out. That is one of the most exciting videos of this month. Whichever route you go, right, for the fast track or for the normal route, the first thing that's needed is the residency, which is either a temporary residency or a permanent residency. And with us, we have attorneys in different parts. We cover almost all of Mexico, all the immigration offices, and our attorneys are now able to get the card in a single day, on the same day. So whether you're getting the temporary, whether you're getting the permanent, on the same day, we are able to get your card at any point in time. You're interested in initiating Mexico, either you're interested in the fast track or the normal route, you can always click the link, book a call, we can discuss and get you started with the residency. And then, as I said, we can get you the card in a single day from inside Mexico. Now let's discuss the normal route. Normal route is 5 years. You wait for 5 years. You do the minimum physical presence in the end, which is between year number 3 and year number 5, and then you apply for nationality. That's the normal route. The fast track route has 3 or 4 different categories, right? Let's get the obvious ones out of the picture because a lot of you watching aren't going to satisfy those easy categories. One of which is your parents are Mexicans. So you could then apply for Mexican nationality in 2 years under the fast track route. Now, when I say fast track, it's a coined term. I'm saying fast because it's 2 years as compared to 5 years, right? It's not an official terminology. It's a coined term. And none of this information that I'm sharing is legal or immigration advice. Always work with the attorney, right? With us, we have attorneys who specialize in each case. So you'd work with the attorney, get their advice, and then you would proceed. So if your parents are Mexicans, as per the new latest updates to their rules, even naturalized parents can pass on that citizenship to children. You have to wait for a couple of years on the residency permit and then you apply for nationality. That's one way. The second way is again an obvious one, which is if you have a spouse who happens to be Mexican, then you apply for residency, get the card, as I said, in a day, right? In some cases with some people, with us, it's a day. And once you have the card, you can then wait for a couple of years, apply for nationality and naturalize in Mexico if your partner is a Mexican citizen. The third way is through children, right? So if you have childbirth in Mexico, your children are Mexican by birth as parents, You qualify for permanent residency in a single day. You can get access to that permanent residency card. Wait for a couple of years. You can still naturalize the same way as the first two categories in Mexico. The fourth way, and this is where a lot of you watching would be interested, is not based on any family ties. It's exceptional scenario, right? So let's say you have a business, or let's say you're doing activities inside of Mexico which has a positive impact either on the society or people, Mexican people. Then that could be a scenario you could apply, and the attorney does the documentation, but the skill set or the impact or the activity, you would directly be contributing to it, right? The thresholds and all those things really is a topic of discussion. It depends upon your skill set. If you have exceptional talent, you have documentation, you have certifications, you have awards, recognition, that takes precedence. If you have less of all of that, then obviously the investment or the economic impact that you're creating on the society would take the precedence. It's always a balancing act when it comes to an exceptional scenario. At the end of the day, what truly makes a difference is how your case is drafted, how your case is documented and presented. That makes a big difference, and eventually these cases are always up to the discretion of the immigration authorities. They're going to review it, they're going to make a decision, and then make a ruling on your case. Now, this particularly makes a lot of sense if you are prepared for the worst case scenario, which is naturalization in 5 years. So getting the residency permit is a no-brainer, right? How do you get the residency permit? The two ways. Either you get the temporary, two ways, or you get the permanent, two ways, right? So two ways for each category. Let me quickly discuss how that residency is done, right? So residency, you could qualify through financial means. Either you have a bank balance of 75K for the past 12 months, you can qualify for the temporary residency, or you don't have the bank balance, but you have a salary, right? You're working, and this could be active salary, or it would be active salary. Doesn't need to be passive, right? So let's say your active salary is 4,400 USD per month approximately. Then you qualify for the temporary residency. So this takes care of the basic necessity, which is the temporary residency. The second way of qualifying, or rather the next category, is the permanent residency. And the way you qualify for permanent residency is that bank balance is higher. It's approximately 290K-ish. Or and that again would be if you have that for 12 months. That's the first category. The second category of qualifying is if you have a monthly income of 7,500 in passive income, right? This one is passive. You could qualify for permanent. So temporary or permanent, you need this, right? And then we are talking about the exceptional scenario. If you succeed with the exception, right, your case succeeds. In the best case scenario, you're going to be able to naturalize after those 2 years. In the worst case scenario, let's say that does not succeed, you're still prepared because you have the underlying residency. Then after 3 years, you get into the same position, right? You have still 2 years where you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to wait for those 2 years, do the minimum physical presence in those 2 years, which is year number 3 to year number 5, and still be able to naturalize. So this is a win-win situation, right? So you put all the efforts, you succeed, good for you. But if things don't work out in that 2-year mark, that's not the end of the world. You just leave it, right? It runs in the background. You're soon at the 3-year mark, the time flies, and then you're in a similar position with that as well. Again, it really depends upon what your objective is. As I said, at any point in time, right, you're interested in striking the residency, whether you want to switch to the fast track based on family ties or exception, or whether you want to continue or just leave it and wait for the normal path to naturalization, you can make that decision. Now, before you go, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, make sure to turn on the bell notification and subscribe so you don't miss out on any important details and latest updates within the RCPI domain. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and catch you in the next one.